Hello there. A very good morning. Welcome to the Youth Equality Center Radio, your number one true source for youth-friendly information and services. My name is Ali Kaviri, and this morning, we've been joined by a youth leader from Makindye, Honorable Rashid, who's going to be discussing with us very important issues around youth engagement in the budget process. We understand that we are living in very hard times at the moment, especially when COVID-19 is wrecking our communities. There's a lot of disruptions in our communities. Most of our radio team is also out of in office, can't move, and that's why I'm actually sitting in for Alan Diba on the program. So right about this morning, we're going to be understanding issues around the budgeting process and how you, a young person, can actually get involved. As you know, world over, there's been growing interest and concern to have young people engage in all arenas of development. There's been a lot of advocacy aimed at ensuring young people participate, but not only get participated, but rather be involved within every stage of development process. And right about now, we really want to understand from a national perspective what it really means for us as young people to be involved in the budget process and why really we should be engaged in the budget process. So you're most welcome to the program. This is Youth Equality Center, and by the way, this is our new home, and we are so glad to host you for the very first time. And this is our new space. You can see everything is new, but as a youth leader, we are very much honored to have you. And just to everyone that is following, this program is proudly sponsored by the Uganda Youth Network, together with Action Aid International Uganda. And thank you so much for making this possible. So, Honorable.
Yes, brother.
You're most welcome once again.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for hosting me.
Yes.
I'm also proud to be here with you people.
You're most welcome. This is a youth-friendly space. Anyways, for starters, just tell us a little about yourself and the people that you represent. Yes, and by the way, congratulations on taking up the new office. Yes.
Thank you so much. Well, my name's Chaba Rashid. A newly elected youth councillor from Makindye Division. But previously, I was working as a youth vice chairperson, still at Makindye Division, and I'm one of the young leaders who contested on the speakership position. Much as all didn't go well, but still we showed that young people should really participate in each and everything because it's our time.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And actually really mention something around how, especially drawing lessons from the just concluded elections. This is something that if you're not strong enough, you wouldn't have actually gone through such a very turbulent process. Maybe just briefly tell us about that experience. How was it for you as a young person and as a youth?
Well, it's also a good question. Much as we are not all in good times for the country, but it's always very important to show the young people that you can make it. There is no logic for you to become a president. There is no logic for you to become anything. Well, I participated and I contested as a speaker for Makindye Division. Much as I'm a NUP member, and I had to first go for
the primaries.
Well, for the primaries, if it didn't go well, and I experienced it from that side, that if all things don't go well at the first stage, you always give a better example to the young people. It didn't go well in the primaries. I supported my colleague Charles Luba, who's now the Speaker of Makindye. So we should show the young people it's not a battle. Yeah. You contest. Yeah. If all goes in your favor, you go on with the leadership.
Interesting. Yeah. And also just to say that actually the youth in this country and even globally, we happen to be constituting the biggest segment of our populations. And Uganda, actually, we are over 78% youth in the country, and that mandates us to be part of every process, be it governance, be it directly in political leadership, so that we can actually have as many voices of youth heard. So now, just like Rashid, you very know, and especially as a leader within your community, we are concluding the budget month. We've just recently had the budget has been read, which is towards creating job creation, and I think this morning let's sort of look at how the budget that has just been unveiled to the country is going to deliver jobs for the country. Maybe your thoughts on the just concluded budget reading process. Your thoughts?
Yeah. Oh, wow. Thank you so much. In the first place, I wanted to first inform the young people that is the time for them to get engaged from the start of the budget process. One, I wanted to first give a picture to the young people out there that the budget starts, how the budget starts. You know, this message is missing within the young people. So the fact that they are missing the message, they find it hard to follow and make accountability for all this. So for the first time, the young people should know that the budget starts in September. That's the first month that we all have to engage.
Interesting.
We have to engage. In the fact that process is called a cycle. Satchula. That's a satchula where we start the engagement. Then the next month of that is October. That is practical where planning meeting starts. So all that process.
Are those at village level?
Those are starting from the village level.
Okay.
So before even looking at the Honorable Amos Lugolobi, Honorable Amos who read the budget, the young people should first know where did this journey start, because you will hear what Honorable Amos read, then they'll wonder where did these things come from.
Sure.
They should first know why and where did it start, and also should know where they engaged, because they may hear it read but they were not engaged.
Sure.
So going back to the question, I would first give them there are always 4 months. That is September, where the budget starts, and even that within that month there is even a process that's called satchula. It's a satchula process. Then the October, that's where the planning meeting starts. Then during this November, standing committees, that is the KCCA and other leaders, they sit and do what? And do engagement on what were discussed from the village, parish, and then forwarded the vision. Then the December, that's the budget conference. Then the December, we always expect budget conference. Sure. Then right from on 10th of June, that's where the budget was read, and that's the period. That's the date according to our financial year and the current information for our country. That's when the budget is read.
Absolutely.
So that is, but depending, going backward on the message you asked, the budget that was read, according to me, Rashid, as a youth leader, who stood up to represent the young people of Machindi.
Sure.
The budget let me see, it can be, it is in favor of the young people, like 5% of 100, because when you see this budget that was read.
Are you saying that overall all the 5% is the one that is in favor of the young people?
Exactly, because one, we've all known that the COVID has affected the young people, has affected the country, the world.
Yeah.
Then I thought the government could strictly look at this, because as you've mentioned it, that young people constitutes to around 78% to the country's population. That means that if the government is working,
is planning, they should look at this biggest population, then appropriate accordingly to ensure that their needs and aspirations are catered for.
Exactly, because now we had the other first wave of COVID. It affected still the young people, because the young people, they're the one, they are the most taxpayers.
Actually, speaking of that, I see many of our colleagues, and I know for you, a leader, I interact with many of these youth groups.
Yeah.
We have young people that are involved in businesses. Now they're under lock and key.
Yeah.
Where are those young people now getting what to fend for their families? Many of them actually with reading reports that are resorting to prostitution, especially for the girls. Yeah. So what you're trying actually to say that they should have taken deliberate steps to understand these particular needs of this biggest population we are talking about, so that they plan accordingly to address some of those needs.
Exactly. So going still back on that, the young people, according to this budget of KCC, KCC's financial year 2021-2022, it is when you look at the way it was, because now KCC the budget, this budget is a little bit let me say it's tricky for someone to understand it, because you even find it, young people may not find it easy to track where they belong, because it is now organized in a program way. Sure. The other way it was sector. So you find even young leaders who did not get a chance like us to get this information, how the budget was is drafted, how does it come into existence. They find it even hard to come open and speak this. I only thank the organization which came up to try to give us some of the sessions, programs that can help us as young leaders to track and make accountability for this. Going forward, the budget does not favor the young people. The fact that we have COVID, the second wave, and even we are from the first wave of COVID, it does not favor us, for real. Because now, you look, let me go just a little bit back to the Right Honorable Prime Minister, Robina, who mentioned that they're going to use a system of mobile phone, the refund support, where they are going to send money. For us young people, we've been having parents, Rashid, go and bring this money from the other thingy, from the other shop. So always have these numbers. They use them for transactions, and even that that isn't a clear formation for to handle the issue of the vulnerable young leaders, the young people. You'll find them that some of them, they are not registered. Their phones are not registered. Yeah. You'll find some of them, they don't have even phones.
Or even national IDs.
So you'll find now if you're going back to the budget, because the Right Honorable is talking about relief fund, but that money is going to come from this budget that was read,
which is not even reflected.
It's not even reflected now. If to go to that program, it could be this community.
I was hearing, I think one of the government leaders was saying that it was actually the finance minister, Matia Kasaija, who was talking about he himself doesn't even know where this money is coming from. So, these are very interesting ideas. So, just to say that you're still tuned into Youth Equality Center Radio, and this program is powered by the Uganda Youth Network. And Uganda Youth Network actually is one of the leading youth organizations that are mobilizing different energies of youth through especially governance processes, development and governance processes in the country. And it's also powered by the Action Aid International Uganda. And so maybe before we go for a commercial break, back to you, Rashid.
Yes, brother.
In your submission, actually, you hinted about some of the bottlenecks or the challenges that impede young people from participating, especially in the budgeting process. You also hinted on the fact that these processes begin usually early. You talked about September. And of course, like we know that the budget now that has been read, the financial begins in July. Exactly. And in terms of implementation, and very soon we shall be going through the budget consultations and everything. Yeah. But what are some of the challenges that you, maybe from your own experience, you've seen that usually impede most of the youth from participating in these budget processes?
Well, thank you so much, my brother, for asking that. That is a critical question that is still pertaining the minds of the young people. Well, this budget process, we always have a challenge with the KCC officers when it comes to such important issues. They always find it hard to involve the young people. The fact that they will have many questions to ask, and you'll find many of the young people are really very, very eager to know why this and why is it, and why are you planning this. So one of the challenges that I've realized in this, it's the information gap. KCCA, let me say the technical team, they are mandatory to give us information in time and also mobilize, especially with the leaders.
Is it easy for them to give us that information?
Where
would they even find us to give us the information in the first place?
Because the fact that even we don't have the youth centers where they could even give us the information for this, the planning is not all that better, because we could have the youth centers where young people could go the notes board and read some of the programs. Even we could even have the SMS, because the system has all the contacts, especially for those active young leaders. They could use that method, just like the Right Honorary Prime Minister he has adopted too. So that means that the system has our contacts. They should use the same to inform us on such programs. But you find they will say, no, we have written. They write the notes and they pin it just near the town clerk's office. How many young people are accessing that notes? So they say, no, we have published the information. So you ask them where the information. They say, you go downtown clerk's notes board. So you'll find the information gap. The technical team do not get us time. You'll ask them, why aren't you calling? They will ask, you don't have money for that. But one of the challenges... Even the time,
So what you're actually saying that there is also a need for us to proactively seek for this information.
Well, for us young people, we always do that. But you'll even find the hindrances, the hindrance with the technical team. You'll go to the technical officer. You ask him or her that, please, how can I get this? The questions, the way you'll first answer you,
intimidating.
He asks you a lot of questions, so you find even no need. Okay, ask you, who are you? Why do you need this information?
Why do you need it for?
So you find it even hard for someone who was trying to follow up, ends up like leaving the issue and goes back to what he or she was trying to do. So that information is one of the challenge. Then another issue, the poor planning still with the government, because if we all plan, if they all plan well for this, because in the first place, young people should be find which means that can we use to engage these young leaders, these young people, in many ways. But because of that poor planning, you'll find they will always give excuses.
Yeah.
But excuses are not taking young people anywhere. They're not taking the country anywhere. You always find now God has brought this COVID. We had the issues of how can we ensure that we reach the middle income state. So now we have gotten this. Okay. So they have managed. Some of the challenges could be the message information flow, the poor planning, and biasness with the young people. Yeah. These old people, they think that for us, when you get to know a lot, we are taking over their jobs. Okay? So they have even that bias. Now I may be having a challenge with counselors, all the counselors. I don't say open that I'm having it, but in my perspective, I know when they see a counselor representing the youth marching, then you find it somewhere they will find it hard, because they are thinking that we are taking over.
Yeah. As I earlier on talked about the recently concluded general elections, the young people had aspirations which they term as the National Youth Manifesto. And we're going to be dwelling so much into that to understand some of these priorities, and if these priorities have been catered for in this budgeting process or the national budget. So don't go away. We shall be right back. You're still tuned into Jack Online Radio, and my name is Ali Kaviri, and I'm sitting in again for Alan Diva, who should have been actually undertaking this assignment. But also right about now, we're still joined by Honorable Rashid, who represents the youth in Makindye. So we are still discussing issues around the budgeting process and how young people can be able to be part. But also one of the very interesting, documents or campaigns that we've actually had young people take advantage of is the National Youth Manifesto. I know organizations, not only Uganda Youth Network, the Youth Coalition on Electoral Democracy, and other partners, including Youth Equality Center. We've been part of processes that are aimed at generating views on how young people see, especially those that are seeking public offices, should be able to prioritize issues around young people. What's your experience with Honorable? What's your experience with the National Youth Manifesto process?
Yes, thank you so much, Ali, and all our listeners. Still, Mutiaba Rashid is my name, Youth Male Councillor, Makindye Division. Well, the Youth Manifesto, it is also a document that's a very important document where the young people, most of their issues and concerns are drafted and where are found. But you, with my experience in with this document, you find it's really a good document, and those who drafted this document, they really take a serious dimension to check what is exactly very important for the young people. But with the implementation and with checking on what exactly was part of this document, whereby you'll find some of the issues in this document can be. Let me just give I feel like five of them. You find this document is concerned about youth entrepreneurship. It is concerned about youth employment. It is concerned about industrialization for job. It's also concerned incubation centers for the young leaders, for the young people. Well, when you look at these issues, they are really the issues that are, if are really solved or if are really put into consideration, young people within Uganda can really have a bigger position in this country. But with the government and the implementers, you find when it comes to doing youth activities, youth priorities, these issues are put aside. Well, this is a youth manifesto for the year 2020, for the year 2021, year 2022, year 2025. But you find we finish all this chisanja, all this term, when just like only one or two priorities are put into consideration. So the problem comes. The government, the implementers of the programs of the government, after seeing this document, they put it aside. They start doing what exactly they think it's important for them. You find young people are just there, not cared for. And when it comes to the leaders, like some of us, we comes on these platforms. You give us platforms like this one to talk about this. Openly, we come up with where is mentioned, and we advocate for going back to these some of these documents, especially for the technocrats, to go back and see what exactly are supposed to work. What are some of the issues for the young people? But after you speak today, you speak tomorrow, and they don't implement. They don't look at it. So the problem still comes, and I always I call upon all entities that are looking forward to support the young people to come openly, and we advocate for this strictly, because the problem is within those offices, the big offices. They don't care. They're not caring. Now you find this is one of the issue that is still in my programs. As I was campaigning, I looked at it as a very critical, important issue. Now the incubation centers,
for the youth.
This is this if we all put into consideration this, if the government puts in consideration this, we can solve a lot of challenges for the young people, because that's where we can still get the skills from that side. We can still, information can be got from around that side. Different experiences can be got around, but you find they are nowhere. They are not implemented. The industrialization for jobs, the president, when the president sometimes mentions about that industrialization, industries are already put into place. But now you ask yourself, which method are they using to recruit the young people, the workers? Because now me, the youth leader, I've never engaged to ask. Ali, you can be the director of an organization. You ask, for his accountability and follow up. Let me please engage this leader. Let me please engage, because we sometimes want to engage friends like Badiru, not because we want. It is for his accountability. And if you want to make a follow up, you go back now. Industrialization. How many times have these industries within Makindi have engaged the young leaders? Have engaged the leaders, because you don't, much as we are giving jobs, That's why there is the importance of setting up an organization. When you come in Machindi and you set up an organization or in a business center, if that business center it has a chance of giving some jobs to the young people within Makindi, as technocrats, as leaders, we should give some insight, some such opportunities. For instance, you can even deduct on some tax for such organization, because it's also giving back to the community. Then we have them. How have we engaged them? Okay, so on that issue of the youth priorities within our manifesto, you find it is not tackled at all.
Maybe just to bring it a little bit, maybe at, let's say, a division level.
Yes, please.
And also maybe taking it into cognizant of the KCCA, or Kampala Capital City Authority role. How is KCCA trying to sort of respond to some of these issues that have been highlighted by the youth?
KCCA,
okay, as government, but of course from that,
within the vote of KCC, Still, KCC, the time I've been in serving as a youth vice chairperson, because the good chance that I have, I've been there. Okay. I've been there and I've seen how. That's why when I was campaigning as a youth councillor, I didn't get a challenge, because I tried my level best, and the young people spotted that much as Rashid was facing some challenges, but was trying. KCC as an institution that is taking the capital city, when in my perspective, the time I've worked with them, as a leader, they just force themselves to engage young people at some time. If at all they see that if we don't engage Rashid here, Rashid may find us on the other corner and also get challenged. So they force themselves to engage, but it's not in their plan. It's not in their plan. It's not in their plan, and we young people within Uganda, Kampala, and other areas, we have a bigger challenge. We have a bigger challenge with the way people who are planning for the young people who are planning for our country. They don't know. They have not recognized this percentage. They just see the percentage in number. They don't see the importance of the percentage we have, 78%, and even it's more growing. They don't see it.
But Rashid, other than us sitting here or wherever we are as a youth leader or as youth in general, and then start lamenting about these challenges, how best do you think that we can actually be able to take a proactive role to ensure that these issues are addressed?
Well, Ali, it's also a good question. It's a very, very good question. Myself, I can't mention some of my plans that I was going to implement. I'm looking at within this COVID-19 second wave. But now, let me just give an example. We have this second wave of COVID. We were previously affected with the previous first wave. But still, when you look at this, when you come up with of course now, when it comes to moving, early as a young people, as a leader, you can't move. You find a bigger an old person is given a sticker, or is given an authority to move within Makindye. But the young leader, who's concerned of youth issues, who must ensure that he writes this letter to the right honorable prime minister, writes this letter to the prime minister,
given Kaunga.
You find if much as we even have those challenges, but the hindrances of the government officials, to send to limit the young people to actively come up with solution with this, it's also a challenge, because we have a problem that when you come up with a strategy, now we have a problem of COVID. It has affected the young people. It is really affecting us. The old people also have issues, because for them they are dying, which is very bad. But the young people, they have a challenge of hunger. They have a challenge of airtime. They have a challenge of data. They have a challenge of rent. The government is not seeing this. When I was coming here, I told my RCC, Ronald of Makindye, that please, I'm going because I was supposed to drive. And I asked him, please, can you give me a stick? I'm going on this talk show to talk about youth issues. He said, no, it's not an emergency. It's not an emergency, really. Me mentioning the issues of the youth, it's more even urgent. How can, in fact, I was with him today very morning. I said, please, I'm going there. Please give me a permit, because I have to move. I ended up getting a border from someone just to give me and right up to here. So they are not looking at that. Now, much as we are looking to solve the issue of COVID, people are dying. But you should even look at the other side. The young people are spreading COVID because they are looking for what to eat. Sure. Aren't you seeing that? Does that one need you to first go to Harvard to study that? Really, it's really challenging. The people who are leading, the people who are steering this country, they should really engage people like you. If you're not corrupt, because even you have a challenge of the young people, they are also corrupt, some of them. You find we are here making noise, what and what, mentioning issues that can solve some of the youth issues. When they are given a position, you start just taking money. You forget issues of the young people. You forget issues. Young people are being driven to other issues. I come here, I'm going to mention ABCD, because I expect you to give me some money. Then you start telling me what to do. That is really bad. That's really bad. And for us now, me as one of the custodian of the young people in Makindye, I don't know, because I don't want to mention some things. But when I look at this, I always sit in my house and cry, because I came on no ticket. I didn't give people money. I didn't bribe anyone to give me the vote. So I came just to ensure that some of the youth issues, at least some of them are addressed, some of them are solved. Because much as we are going forward, we are looking for solving the issue of COVID. Some young people are on pool tables. Now you ask why on pool table right at this time? Man, cancer soko ndekemu wano ngina funa waka sente. Some people are gathering on different avenues now, like Ludo, such places you ask them why. They are looking for what to eat. Then you hear a right honorable prime minister, he has brought the issue of relief support fund. Yes, the media have engaged her. Then the media, she was proudly saying that we are going to use a mobile what? And in fact, the mobile, she even mentioned that whoever has an account of mobile where 100,000 has gone through on that line, he doesn't expect, oh my God, we should just pay for our country, for God and my country. I don't really know what exactly our people are going to do. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Honorable Rashid. You're still listening to a budget conversation, youth and the budget. And my name is Ali Kaviri Ali once again, and I'm sitting in for Alan, who was unable to be with us this particular morning and afternoon. Just hearing what Honorable is actually talking about, you can see how passionate he is, especially about issues that are pertaining to the youth. And if we can only have young people's voices included, especially in issues around the COVID response, packages and mechanisms that are taking place. He really talked about so many things on how we can actually actively engage young people, especially in the design processes and the monitoring and evaluation of these programs that are targeting the youth. But also he made a call towards having them as youth leaders also be at the forefront of, in this response mechanism. So we really appreciate Honorable for the time you've actually given us for this particular conversation. And maybe before we conclude the show, we're going to just take a small break, and then when we come back, we'll dwell so much maybe the concluding part to really understand your experience, especially with engaging into issues around youth leadership, and maybe just to shed more light on something to do with especially what could have motivated you to take this particular road, because it's not an easy road. Not every young person out there is very much interested in engaging these processes, because sometimes it can be very there's a lot of force, chaotic. Many of us actually shy away from taking part in these processes. But maybe in your concluding remarks, you'll be able to share with us maybe some word of encouragement on how best we can be able to take part in these processes. You're tuned into YEC online radio, and this program is today powered by the Uganda Youth Network in partnership with the Action Aid. And we shall be bringing you more of this every time and again. Just keep locked to the YEC online radio. We've been discussing a range of issues, including youth participation in governance processes. We've also looked at youth engagement in the budget process and how young people can be part of these processes. Maybe as we conclude the program, I really want to go a little bit, personal, to really ask you this question, Honorable. I see you're a very young man, but you're very passionate about these issues. What could have motivated you to take on this mantle of representing the youth?
Yes, thank you so much, Ali, and our listeners. I would still thank the Youth Equity Center Radio Online, and our sponsors for this program, Action Aid with the Uganda Youth Network. Still, I would also thank whoever is taking the lead to listen and to follow. Going back to the question that you've asked me, one of the reason why I was inspired to come as a youth counselor. In fact, there are many positions, there are many areas, they call it electoral areas, because the fact that KCC or Kampala demarcated most of the areas, most of my colleagues and my working partners before were advising me to take other electoral areas, not taking Makinde division, because one, Makinde division as a electoral area that I'm taking, it's a very big area. It has 245 zones with 20 parishes that I had to move on, and many were advising me, being on opposition, I can't lead, I can't take that position as a youth councillor. But I told them no, still things can be possible. One of the reasons why I was inspired to come as a youth councillor, one, I was not intending to get money as a salary. I was my ambition was seeing the voice of the young people being heard, and still sticking on the right and the very important things or the issues that are really pertaining the young people's minds. Still, my reason as why I came as a youth councillor, I was being in this age of the youth, many issues, many challenges that we face, and you find the leaders who contest always go through, who always go in these positions, they don't have the intention of serving or bringing the rightful issues of the young people. You find them, they are only targeting opportunities for themselves. They are targeting opportunities for their families and also the allowances for themselves. So that was one of the reasons. In fact, me, when I see any young leader in any position of the youth who is not doing what he's supposed to do, in fact, I may fail to be a friend to that person, because I always want someone to come open and say what is. That's why even I was contesting as a speaker, because our council, it is mainly full of the youth. In fact, that's why when I was telling the councillors, I told them, well, you were councillor for that area, but I'm your councillor. Trust me, you're not above 45, you're not above 40, you're not above 35. So you find most of the young people who contested and who went through in those positions, they are still youths. The challenges or the problems that are affecting a youth down at a zero, down at a village level, they are the same problems that are still affecting, that are still challenging Badiru, whoever, because the challenges that are affecting the young people, those who are employed, they have challenges, because you find someone, a young girl, wants to wants a certain job somehow, but you find when it comes to an office of a certain guy, an old man, you find the challenges that person the lady faces. A man asking him some things that he doesn't even have. Now you find some officers, they're asking experiences of over 5 years. Then someone who has moved from the university, why do you expect that person to get the experience? I heard the president was still seriously speaking about this, and also it was also one of the things that I was very much concerned. He mentioned that now the most corrupted people, they are the young people coming from the poor families.
Yeah.
So he mentioned now jobs are going to be given to the young people who are coming from the rich families. Oh my God. It is just the system. It is the system that makes that person corrupt. But it's not like those who are coming from rich family, they are not corrupt. Those who are coming from the poor family, they are what? They are corrupt. So those are some of the reasons as to why I came as a youth councillor, and I'm a youth councillor. Whoever doesn't know, in fact, the people of Makinde, I work with my friend, the speaker, Lubachaus, Right Honorable. I work with him because I was standing against him, but still I told him we can engage. But whoever in a position that is which is a way through of youth issues, he must work very serious, because we are facing a challenge of just the so-called bosses. And as leaders, we don't know even sometimes what to do because we are not empowered. Myself, even I could get a chance to even visit the radio stations, the TV station, to openly speak about youth issues. But you find the stations, they want money.
Yeah.
You find the stations always hosts people like His Worship, Lord Mayor, the MPs, because for them they can give them what? Something. Our country is just corrupt. In fact, during this time, the leaders could be given more chance to be hosted, or to get a chance to visit the stations, especially to educate people what to do and how to do it, to ensure that even we bring this issue of COVID down, because the issue of COVID should be even solved with a mindset. But they are just fighting to close shops, to beat people, to do what? Those are not the challenges. The challenges we should just empower the leaders who are concerned. The LC chairperson should be given a chance to come on this station. Now, for real, I really thank you people. Even during the lockdown, you opened. Because if we make if we allow the country to be silent, to be just closed in darkness, COVID will just kill people like nothing. COVID is killing people with even the mindset. The country should do, I don't know, who's the minister of the young people? I've not yet gotten a chance to know him or her. I don't know. Is she still the honorable? I don't know. We shall get to know. But still, we need to bring this to the attentions of the government. The young leaders should now be given a chance. I condemn the issue of the RCC of Machindi not allowing me as a youth councillor. I've gone to his office. In fact, I wish I wrote. I could have evidence. I don't know how. He was trying to give me excuse about his job, but not give me. I told him I'm going to the radio station to talk about youth issues due to COVID lockdown. Okay, it's an emergency. If the leader of the youth doesn't speak, who will speak? If the leader of youth in Machindi, Mutiaba Rashid, doesn't speak, who will speak aside that the young people get to know? We have a bigger challenge. I just call upon you, the workers who have given us the chance, the funders, the people who have sponsored this. Please go on. For the betterment of our country and for the future of our young people. We are all going to be fathers, and we are fathers, some of us, mothers. Then when you look to the young one down there, what do you expect? Some people are going to die, not because of COVID, but they are going to die because of the stress. And when they look back to the people, how they are really affected, how they are really not catered for, they will end up dying. Because me dying is just seeing people of matching the young people not being catered for. In fact, those are some of the reasons why I left other positions, and I'm very, very proud to be a youth councillor. Because one, I take the bigger percentage of the young people within our area, and even my area of it is really covering. When I talk, they really get concerned. Okay, so those are some of the encouragement. You asked me some of the encouragement.
Also to encourage especially those young people out there that might be hearing you, and maybe just to as you conclude your final remarks. Yeah.
Okay, as I conclude, one, I take the opportunity to call upon all the young leaders within Machindi, Kampala, and Uganda. Kindly, let's all observe the SOPs and also take this COVID-19 real. And also the fact that the government has not cared for according to the budget. When you look at the budget, young people out there, kindly, our issues are not concerned and are very few. In fact, our issues within the budget, they are not prioritized. So I call upon all young people within Uganda, Makindye and other areas, let's take a serious dimension as you are protecting, as you are changing our mindset. Because if the government has not come up with this clear definition on where we are going as young people, it's us to find all the solution. So whoever is there, please put on your mask clearly, or sanitize, kindly social distance, kindly. Let's try to be minimal in expenditures. Let's try to take this issue of expending unnecessary. Please, seriously, let's only spend where it's necessary. Because even me, as a youth councillor, I don't have. I could have helped. Those who have, they can't care about us. They are caring about their families. They are caring about their own issues. You find now the youth councillor who could be moving within the division, I can't even move. In fact, I could just talk to people in different means, but I can't even move. So the mindset, I call upon whoever is a young leader, a young people, please kindly take note. Take note, within this second wave of COVID, some of us, we may not die of COVID, but we may even die of other issues. Thank you so much. I take the opportunity to salute all the young people of Makindye, the concerned officers who have come up openly to really challenge or to come up with solutions for the young people. Still, I thank the organizers of this show, especially the YEC online radio. You guys, you have done a tremendous work. Thank you so much. We shall try to see how we can advocate for the government to ensure that this data issue, because the data issue now, it is, I don't know. I wish, I don't know. Now we have the issue of the data. Can you imagine?
And those are very pertinent issues of young people.
For real.
And as an organization, we're trying to create such platforms like this.
Okay.
Just to even maybe respond to what you said earlier on regarding an issue of penetrating through the mainstream media is very also difficult for many young people. So we create such spaces such as this to create a policy conversation like we've had today, to see that young people's voices are amplified.
Well, I see, as I conclude, allow me take this opportunity to call upon all the media houses, the media houses out there. We understand you're looking forward to have money and make a lot of money. Kindly spare such sessions and invite people who are concerned, who are broke as of now. Because for us young people, we are broke. We are not poor. We are just broke. Please invite us so that we educate the nation. We tell the people what exactly we think should be done. Please, let's just put aside of Kintu Kidogo and at least put this as a very important issue. Thank you so much. For God and my country, I salute the people of Makindye.
Thank you so much, Honorable Rashid. That has been Honorable Rashid, the male youth councillor for Makindye Division within the Kampala Capital City Authority. I've been your host, Kavili Ali, sitting in for Allen Diba, who was unable to be with us today. And this show has been powered by the Uganda Youth Network, together with the Action Aid International Uganda. It's been really an honor to host you, Honorable, and we look forward to having you as many times as possible. I know it's a very trying moment for all our young people, many young people out there. Like you've heard our leader tell us, we need to ensure that we follow the Ministry of Health, standard operating procedures, wear your mask. If you look at what's happening in hospitals, which are full to capacity, many COVID patients are there. So we need to take these measures very, very seriously. We need to ensure that we time and again, quite often we sanitize, we wash our hands with soap, we ensure that we maintain social distancing, we ensure that we follow all these SOPs like the virtue given to us. So right about now, we shall be going into the normal programming, and we thank you again. Keep following. If you have any comment, please put them on our socials on Youth Equality Center. That's on Facebook, Youth Equality Center, or YEK Radio. That's on Facebook, and on Twitter, Youth Equality Center Uganda, as well as for those who are part of our WhatsApp group. Please keep following us and keep sending us those messages. I'm sure very soon the rest of the team, the radio team, is going to be entertaining you, giving you the best that within the youth programming. I've been your host, Kavili Ali, and I wish you a lovely week. All the best.